220,000 Americans are dead from COVID-19. Millions more have contracted the disease and continue to suffer. We have tens of millions of people across this country who are either unemployed or afraid they're about to lose their jobs. Parents who are struggling because they can't get daycare, they can't get their children into school. Small businesses that have shuttered and not sure if they will ever be able to reopen. Restaurants who can't see a business plan going forward. Minority-owned businesses that have been hit the hardest. And what does Mitch McConnell do? Plays politics instead of helping people. This bill that he's putting on the floor again is not a bill about helping people. It's a bill about leaving people behind. Who does Mitch McConnell want to leave behind? He wants to leave behind every single person in this country who is worried about COVID-19. No help for our hospitals, not enough for tracing, not enough for testing, not enough for our doctors and nurses. Just leave them behind. And what about parents, school children? No money here for the kids who are caught in between, having to try to study from home, parents who are struggling with that. Just leave them behind. And this bill leaves millions of small businesses behind, restaurants behind, minority-owned businesses behind. There are so many left behind in the McConnell bill, but understand this. The McConnell train does have some first-class tickets in it. First-class tickets for giant corporations. For giant corporations, a release of liability, no matter how irresponsible they are, they don't have to worry about making their own employees or their customers sick to the point of dying. Mitch McConnell says those folks get a first-class ticket on the McConnell train. And how about parents, wealthy parents, who want to send their kids to private schools? The McConnell train says, let's have the taxpayers pick up the bill for that. Full tax credit for sending your kid to a fancy boarding school. How about that? In other words, what McConnell's doing here is playing politics of the ugliest sort. He wants to stand up and claim that he's helping the American people. No, he's playing the same old game. No help for the people who need it, and lots of help for the people who don't. Well, that's not where the Democrats are. The Democrats are here for working families, for people who are struggling, for small businesses, for restaurants, for minority-owned businesses, for our doctors and nurses, for the people who are in public health who are trying to get their arms wrapped around this COVID crisis. This is what it's going to take, not only to deal with this immediate healthcare crisis, but also the economic crisis that is tumbling behind it. That's why the Democrats will be voting no today.